I'm going to talk about very difficult situations that we all encounter sometimes in our lives. Sometimes these are small situations and sometimes they're very big, difficult situations. So I'm going to share with you 5 crucial steps that you need to apply in dealing with any situation, and believe me, you will solve the situation much faster, in a very much easier way, and just to the satisfaction or to the best of all involved. Are you happy to hear it? I hope you are. So this is about achieving mastery, spiritual mastery, or rather applying spiritual mastery to the physical world. So let's talk about it. I'm going to share 2 small stories, personal and somebody else's story, and I will give you these 5 steps. So we will start with, first of all, when let's say you encounter a difficult situation, and what's your first response? Well, if we are honest with ourselves, the first response is, I don't know what to do. It's something happened, and it's a knee jerk reaction. And when it's a knee jerk reaction, you are just all rattled and upset and could be angry as well, because you're trying to solve it, but you're not solving it. And it's just the beginning, and it's actually not pleasant. So so remember, you're the soul who is trying to solve the situation. Something bad happened to you, you're the soul. And all by yourself, you cannot do anything because you have even no human next to you to take action. So obviously, what do? You turn to your human part, to your human self, to take action. And in this case, you're relying to yourself, or for you're relying to yourself, on yourself, to give a solution. So you're taking your knowledge, experience, everything, and you're trying to solve the problem. But then, or the second example could be that you're relying on other humans. So you start asking for help, you start asking for other humans to give you advice, or to give you help, or to solve it. So you're relying either on your human self or on other humans. And that's how people usually approach every situation. First, they get frustrated. First, they get knee jerk reaction. Difficult situation has a reason, and then they turn to for help to very wrong places. Actually, I can tell you right away immediately, but that this is a very wrong approach, and yet humans use it over and over and over and over. How do we do it when we apply spiritual mastery? Well, first of all, I'll give you an example of a lady whom I interviewed. She's a business entrepreneur, woman entrepreneur, and I interviewed her several years ago. And she shared the story when her husband got very his health got very bad turn. So he had a stroke, and it was very, very hard for everybody, especially for this lady. She was devastated. She needed support. She needed somebody to be at her side, because you know how difficult it is when your loved one is in a dire condition. And so she turned to her friends, and she thought these were good friends who would support her, who would stand by her. But what happened was, she shared it herself. Her friends turned away, and they did not help her. She found herself alone, and she did not have any help. Of course, it devastated her. But she also remembered, because she has strong faith, she remembered that she actually didn't ask for help from the divine. In her faith, she calls God. So she started praying to God, and finally she asked for help. So when we look at this picture, and I already showed this to several times in live streams, but every time I show this picture from the different perspective. So it's never the same explanation about the picture. So she looked up. instead of looking down that she initially has done, when we look for help from ourselves or from other humans, we look down because human is of low vibration. And when we look for God's help, we look up. And because divine is of high vibration. And therefore, big difference in vibrational salvation of the problem. Solving the problem, it comes from very different directions, either from the down one or from up. And believe me, the better one is when you look up. And therefore, she she prayed to God, and the help arrived. And how it arrived? God works through humans. This is a spiritual principle. The divine works through humans. So you ask first, you ask the divine to send you help, but then some human will appear to send you this help. And an interesting thing, because divine works in mysterious ways. This woman suddenly was contacted by a distant acquaintance or distant friend. She hasn't communicated with that friend for some time, and suddenly this friend calls her, and they start talking, and that friend was the perfect solution. That friend appeared at the right time, at the perfect timing, at the perfect place, and that person was able to be a very strong support for this woman in need when she needed it the most. And that person was able to understand what this woman was going through because that person went through it himself at some point earlier. And so that's how divine sends, divine helps. But you have to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get help because you have a free will. And so here is my story as well. And then I will share 5 crucial steps what you exactly do. So my story is I've been inviting people to my upcoming class, Divine Guidance Challenge. And for that, as you know, I need a website for people to come and register. And it's a crucial time when few days left, and people are promoting my Divine Guidance Challenge. And suddenly I did something stupid. I know it was my fault. I did something stupid, and website crashed. And I didn't even know it at the beginning, but then I realized, oh my gosh, the website crashed. So what would be the first reaction when it's a crunch time? It's you don't have much time for anything. You have to have website operational, and you don't know what to do. Because I am not a website webmaster, I'm not a developer, so I have no idea how to fix it. I know a little bit about websites, but not to that point when it crashed and I know how to fix it. And so, what's the first reaction? The first reaction is panic because, oh, what do I do, right? The second reaction, I'm talking about traditional reactions. The second reaction would be, whom can I contact for help? What humans can I contact for help? And then third reaction, continue being in panic and try to enlist that help so the website could be fixed. And then the third reaction, or fourth by now, reaction, to continue panicking until the website is fixed, and then it will be slow because somebody is busy or cannot fix it or something else, and you going crazy. So I did not choose to go that route because I know much better. I'm attuned I am in tune with the spirit world, so I know how it operates. Okay, so 5 steps I have applied, and these are crucial steps. So the first step, calm yourself down. Yes, panic arises no matter what. No matter how spiritual you are, panic could arise because we're dealing with the material world. So calm yourself down, center yourself, because otherwise you won't be able to accept God's help, divine help, because you will be closed up with your negative feelings, and it will block the flow of the light that will come to your rescue. So calm yourself down. Second, turn to the divine. Before you contact any humans whatsoever, you turn to the divine. You just take, and it takes what, a minute? It takes very short time. You just sit calmly and you talk to the divine, your divine self. So you're not contacting some universe, distant universe, you don't know who that is. You contact your personal divine God self, divine self that is with you, who is always, like I'm showing in this picture, you looking up. In other words, you don't look down, you look up, and you're looking at the divine, because only the divine can give you the best solution at the right time, very fast solution, and exactly what you need at that moment. And your difficult situation, your problem will be solved. And so that's why the next crucial step is the second crucial step is to turn to the divine. In other words, look up for help, don't look down. The third step is then you let go and let God. Literally, you let go and let God. Yes, maybe it's for a few seconds or for a few minutes, but you have to remain calm, which is let go. Let go of your attachment to fixing this problem. Be calm and know that help will arrive, and you will get it. You will get it at the right timing. And then let God work through you to send you human, to send you help, to send you solution. It could be a divinely inspired idea that will come to you. Then you will contact somebody and it will be the perfect choice. And you will think you came up with this idea. Actually, you didn't, because you asked divine. Divine will provide that light, and the light will bring in information. Or some human will contact you, or you will contact. So whatever you do, you have to get that divine idea or divine communication from other human as well. So my divine idea came to me to contact this particular person, and she calls herself techie. She is techie, but she doesn't even work on WordPress, which is my website is on WordPress. But for some reason, I just felt the need to text her. And interesting, here is the teaching point. So I texted this lady, and she could, as you know, we all go about our day. She could be busy. She might not notice the text, but she answered immediately. And that's a sign of the flow. So when you look up for solution, divine will provide the flow. And the flow, I call it green light flow. This flow will lead you through or carry you through all the steps necessary, all the human actions necessary to solve the difficult situation. And so she responded immediately. That was the flow. And the only thing she had to say to me, it happened to me before. And when it happened, I just needed to reverse what I've done prior. That's all. Because I was thinking very clearly, crystal clear at that moment. Why? Because I was calm and I was expecting the solution that would come from the divine. So I was not interfering. It's like radio waves. Sometimes there is a lot of interference because, well, there is no flow, exactly, because flow is being interrupted. So my flow was not being interrupted. I was calm and I was expecting the divine solution. Therefore, it happened. I was thinking clearly. I didn't get any fog in my head. So I was able to figure out what I've done wrong before, and I was able to reverse it, which I've never done it before myself. Nobody taught me that. So somehow I was able to do it. And I know that wasn't exactly mine brilliance. It was actually the divine help. And so I did it. The website was restored. And there are some other little things that need to be cleared afterwards. But the main thing was that the website was restored and people could still register. And my problem was solved very quickly in a very small in a very significant yet very simple way, right? Because and it was like a miracle, because otherwise I had no idea whom to contact for help. I did not know who would help me, who was not busy, whom I need, who knew what happened. Whole 9 yards of human anguish or human frustration would be there if I look down instead of looking up. And so 5 steps, again, crucial 5 steps: calm yourself down. Second step, look up instead of looking down. Turn to divine for help instead of turning to humans. Step 3, wait for the divine idea or for urge to act, or somebody else will contact you. Something will happen and you have to be able to receive this information and act on it. So the humanist part of yourself is important. You still have to act. You don't sit on your butt and do nothing and say divine will solve. No, divine will inspire you. Divine will give you solution. Divine will give you an inspired idea, and it will provide the flow, but you have to take actions and do those and take those actions to solve the problem. And at the same time, you have to remain calm at all times, not to interfere the flow. And of course, the main thing after all of that is the gratitude. Do not forget, because it will not be, divine does not give you, I usually say, a helicopter will not arrive with a banner saying, oh, look, I helped you, and be grateful, right? So it's very easy to forget, and you think, oh, yeah, it was a serendipity, or I was so lucky I was able to fix the problem. Did you hear me? I said I was able to fix the problem. Heck no, I wasn't. Divine helped me. And so all the credit has to go to the divine, and the gratitude has to be there, because with the gratitude, you are ensuring that the more help will come and you will continue being in the flow. And so, how do we, and these are the 5 steps, and how do we use those 5 steps? And how do we even remember? That's another point. How do we even remember to use these 5 steps when a difficult situation arises and you're all rattled and you are in a panic and you don't know what to do? But it's very hard to remember if you didn't get used to it. I got used to it. I do it all the time, so it's second nature to me, but usually people don't. So how do you do it? Well, you practice, you gain that spiritual muscle to remember about it. And how you do it? By actions, by applying that, by making it as a habit. How do we do that? We tune into the spirit world and we stay tuned. How do we do that? Well, the of course, what am I doing right now? I'm inviting you to my Divine Guidance Challenge. It's literally coming in very few days. The website is restored, so you can definitely go and register. It's free. It's 3 days, and so what you will have an opportunity to prove yourself, first of all, that your divine self is very close, is personal, very present in your life. It's not just some distant universe that you have no idea about. You will open a real two-way direct communication. So if I didn't have that direct communication, do you think I would remember in a dear need to contact the divine? Well, usually most people do not, because they didn't get used to this direct communication. And also learn how to ask for divine guidance. Well, yes, you can pray in your own way, that's fine, but there is also a way to ask for a clear answer. Every time you ask, the answer will come, maybe immediately, maybe a couple of days later, but answer comes. Understand why it's super important to learn and apply divine guidance in your business and life. Well, people think it's a woo-woo subject, it's some fluff, they don't need it. Well, that's that's a huge mistake. And I'm really, really, I feel sad because people just pass it thinking it's some metaphysical subject that they can read in a book. It's actually a system. It takes time to learn, to apply, but it's real, it's practical, and it's very much needed. It would make your life literally magical. And you also will be challenged to receive your own divine guidance, because everything I do, everything I teach, everything all my teachings are about applying spiritual mastery or spiritual principles knowledge into your practical life. Make it practical. Don't just read about it, use it every day in every situation. So go to irenabaker.com/challenge. If you see a different link to my challenge, which is clickable underneath, please use that link, because it could be my friends or clients who are promoting this challenge for me, endorsing me, and use their link as well. So, irenabaker.com/challenge. I hope to see you there. And please remember that if when you follow the divine, the money follows you. When you serve the divine, money serves you. Until we meet again, goodbye.